Fanthorpe, and I'm your host as usual. Now, today you asked for it, we're delivering it. Thanks to Greer Steele from Dimple Digital. So she's going to be doing her part 2 of the Facebook Business Suite. So last week we delved into Facebook Business Suite, and to be honest, it's such a big tool. We didn't get through it all. Everyone was requesting a second session to finish off some of the features on Facebook Business Suite, and Greer has been so kind to jump back on with us the following Friday to finish it up. So here we are. So make sure you're getting your questions answered. So a lot of you are on different platforms, and you can still engage with us by using the chat features or the comment features or the Q&A functions, depending on what platform you're streaming from. Make this session about your business. We want to help you. Pop your questions in. Now, these sessions are all recorded. So if you stream with us on Zoom, just a quick reminder that you can find all of the sessions we've done to date in the In Case You Missed It section on the main dashboard of the website. And a little shout out. Look, if you didn't get an email the other day, we now have an app. Digital Boost Live is now live. So you can download the app and get access to cool features like podcasts and your whole learning journey. And it's now all available at in the palm of your hand. So Greer, thanks so much for joining us today. I am super psyched to have you back on.
Good morning. Kia ora, everyone. Nice to see your lovely faces again. Well, I can't see you, but I know you're all there. So I'm stoked to be here, and I didn't realize how much we had to cover or how many questions you guys would have. So I'm so glad to be back, and we're definitely got a lot of ground to cover. So Stay tuned. But actually, I was going to start today with posts and stories, because I know I touched it briefly last Friday, but I think it would be more beneficial if we started fresh and did a quick recap of what we have done and then just go into more detail from there. So
I think that's perfect, because we covered so much stuff on the beginning and then we got to that kind of point. So if we can leave off, kind of start where we left off and just remind us, oh yeah, that's how we were doing that. That'd be fantastic. Wonderful.
Definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now.
Okay, I'm going to drop off and I'm going to let you kind of drive and make sure everything's working in the background.
Sweet as. Cool. So last week, as I mentioned, posts and stories, this section is the most important part of Facebook Business Suite. It's definitely the tool that I use the most, and I definitely find, this is the biggest feature that all my customers tend to use. So going straight into it, again, so last week I mentioned there's the top section here. So if you click in your navigation bar on the side here, you click on posts and stories, and it takes you straight into this page here. And so the first part is the posts. So these are the ones that Dimple Digital have already posted. So this is a great area to just see how many engagements we've been getting, when it was posted. If I want to boost it, it's a quick, easy access tool, how many likes and that sort of thing. And like I said last week as well, don't focus on the likes, because that isn't an accurate representation of the amount of engagement. You want to actually see how many people it has reached. So published is quite just an overview, simple area to navigate. You can obviously search your posts up in this toolbar here. You can see if you want to filter out if it's been shared between Facebook or Instagram. And then you can also do the lifetime. So if you want to specifically look back at a post that you've done, because you've got so much engagement on it last Christmas or something, and you've got a new promotion coming up this Christmas, and you just want to see how you did it last time, then it's great to just filter through and search it up that way. So then moving on to scheduled. So this is my favorite part. And as you can see, we've got a couple of scheduled posts already there. So this area, it's basically just allows me to see what's coming up in Dimple's content calendar, and just so I know what's been posted. And if I've got to squeeze something in there, I can just see what days I'm posting to make sure that I don't, post on the same day and overstimulate my audience. So that's just the scheduled area. And then obviously if we go onto the top, so I mentioned this last week as well, you've got the create a story and create a post buttons up the top right corner. So if we click in create a post, it'll immediately come up with, when it decides to load, the schedule post time. So I can choose, I can just click here and then I can say, hey, I want it, next Monday, which is the 27th of September, and I can choose the exact time. So I normally base this off when my customers most engage with my content, and you can see that by looking in your analytics, which I will cover actually shortly. So we tend to post, early morning, or not early morning, probably mid-morning, like 10 o'clock or something in the morning. And that just allows me to, because businesses tend to, obviously our target audience is local businesses and they tend to hop on their social media throughout the day. So we like to post it mid-morning so they can see it for the day. So anyway, so that's just a little bit about the scheduling feature. And then obviously once you've clicked scheduled and you've written all about your post and you go to schedule post, as it says in the bottom right corner of that, sorry, I'll just pop back into it. Down here, it'll say schedule post. And then it'll just pop up in here and it'll tell you if it's going on Instagram or if it's going on Facebook. If you're not quite happy with it, you can obviously click on it and you can make sure, like, this will show you the format of what it will look like on our Facebook page. And then you can also press the three little buttons here and you can choose to edit it or if you want to duplicate it. So that can be really good if you want to, change it over to Instagram and you didn't already click that before or something. You can reschedule it if you think, oh, hang on, I don't want to post it Monday, I want to post it Friday or in a month's time or that sort of thing. You can reschedule it. And you can also move it to drafts. So if you're not quite happy with a post and you think, oh, I just want to change the wording, I might want to get my boss or a co-worker or something to have a look at the post and how it's worded or laid out, then you can just move it to your drafts and then they can pop in and just check in your draft section. And then obviously from drafts, you can also schedule it. So that's quite a cool little area. And then obviously delete posts. So if you're really not happy with it, there is that feature there to delete it. So that's the scheduling area, probably my most used area. And then moving right along to drafts. So I've mentioned this part before, but obviously it's quite similar in how it functions in terms of scheduling and the publishing area. Like it just comes up with all the posts here that you've got in your draft section. And it's basically your unfinished business. If you've got things that you just want to reword, like I said before, then you could just put it in your drafts area. So if you're not using Milanote, which I shout out to them last week, if you're not using Milanote, then this is the area to do it. But I tend to put all my drafts in Milanote. Cool. So this is pretty much the post section of Facebook Business Suite, and you can click down here to stories. So stories I also covered a little bit last week, but now Facebook Business Suite actually allows you to publish them and schedule them, which could be a great little tool to use as well. If, especially, you don't want to be hopping on there every single day and always using your social media because it can become quite a tax. So I definitely recommend using this tool and pre-planning some of your content, pre-filming things, or if you've got a new product and you just want to showcase it in a story, that's a great way to do so. But yeah, also just not forgetting that stories is a real authentic place to post your content. So you want to make sure that is, it's the day-to-day stuff. It's the stuff that doesn't quite need to be in a post, but it's also, a nice to update personal area for customers to, message you and that sort of thing. So, making sure that those stories are authentic is a really important thing to do as well. So yeah, obviously this section is the active section. So when Dimple doesn't currently have any stories live, but when they are, they'll just pop up here and I can just manage them from here. I can choose to delete stories from here if I am not happy with it. I can see if it's on Facebook or active on Instagram. And obviously there's the create a story button here and the create a story button up in the right corner. So if I go ahead and click on it, I can choose if I want it to be on Dimple Digital or on their Facebook page or on their Instagram. And then when I click add media, it takes me straight to my folder, and I can just select an image or a pre-recorded video or something, and I just find it in my laptop, or if you're using it on your phone as well, it'll take you to your photo archive. And then you just click on it, and it'll pop up with a preview. And yeah, you just pretty much go from there, and you can choose to share story, or you can click the little button here and choose to schedule it at a specific time. The scheduling tool is actually quite a new feature as well. They never used to do this. So like I said before, it's great for choosing, what time that you want to post on your stories, depending on when your customers engage, and also B, so it's not consuming you all the time. So the next one is, so that's scheduling as well, the button up the top, and then there's archive. So archived is all our previous stories that we have done, and you can just check, you can see here the date that it was published, and you can see your viewers, but you can normally only see your viewers, I think it's a week after you've posted it to your story, and then the information just kind of becomes obsolete and not really relevant, so it just disappears from there. You can filter, obviously, if you just want to check all your Facebook stories or just want to check your Instagram. And yeah, so this is a handy little tool to have. And then if you click on it, obviously it comes up with here, and you can view your story of what it was, which is quite cool. And then you can choose to delete it. But the deleting part isn't really relevant either for this area, because if it's archived, it means it's not currently active, so users don't see it. So archived is like for yourself to see what you've done in the past. So that's just a FYI. So that's pretty much posts in the stories section, and they pretty much work similar in terms of how they're laid out and how they look. So we'll move on to feed and grid. So this is actually a really cool tool that's, I'm pretty sure it's quite new actually as well. And it just basically shows you how it's looking on your Facebook and Instagram account, just so you can see the layout, just, make sure that your feed is cohesive, and it particularly helps with building that brand story, making sure that you're matching your content pillars, and content pillars are like keeping to the theme of your social media. So this is the Facebook one, and Facebook only offers the scrolling, because this is how it would look on the Facebook homepage. As you can see, there's us last week.
There's me.
and then Instagram's the same, or there's also the grid, so you can just see the layout and see all the recent posts and just see how it's done. Sorry, do I have a question?
I just have a quick question. So there's two questions actually. One says, can you please show again how to get hashtags numbers and stuff like that? Because I remember that was a cool feature that you put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other question, I know you're going to show, I'll just give them to you both. Kia ora, can you repost archived stories? So those are two great questions. So I thought maybe before you move on to a different bit, you might want to.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So stories. I'll answer that question first. So with your story, you can't repost them, but you can add them to your highlights. But the highlight feature is only available from your mobile device. You can't do it on Facebook Business Suite at the moment. Okay. So if you were to be able to do that, it would be if you click on archives and you click here, it would be in this little 3-dotted section.
On your phone.
No, if it was on Facebook's Business Suite, if it was ever to exist, it would be in that little location there. Okay. But on your mobile, unfortunately, I can't show you my screen, but if you go, you can go into your settings and you can check your archive stories from that way. And you can pretty much click on it, and because you're running a business Instagram account, it allows you to have your highlighted area or your highlights at the top corner, just under your business bio and that sort of thing. So you can save them for future, so people can see your posts. It's really good for if you've got services or something, and you don't, obviously you just want it to be at the top so people can easily click on them, but they're not in your posts and get lost in your feed that way. So that's question one. Question two, so happily to show sorry, that wasn't English. I'm happy to show the hashtags. So if you go into create a post in the top right corner, and then you've got your text here. You can, choose what account that you want it to work on. And then you just click this little hashtag icon. And this little
that was
hashtag
so
icon,
cool that we learned that last week.
Oh, honestly, I'm still learning it, to be honest, but it's such a cool little feature. And it's a lifesaver, honestly. I used to have a Google Doc and I'd have all my trending hashtags in there and I'll just have to copy and paste them. And now they're all in one spot. So that's really cool. So the trending part, you just go in and you search. For example, I'll search up digital boost. And I can see
trending hashtags, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so I can see if I scroll down, I can see what ones are trending and that sort of thing. So this one is quite popular. And then you just click the little flag tool here to save them. And when you save them, sorry, I just exited out of that. When you save them, they go into your little saved file here. And so you can just pretty much just click here and click all the way down however many that you want. And then you just push add and it immediately adds it to your text. So super, super simple. And then obviously the recent feature. So these are all the ones that, we've recently searched up or clicked on or that sort of thing. So super, simple tool to navigate, really, but it's just have a play around with it and see what hashtags you find, and save as many as you possibly can in that area, and then obviously you can click whatever one suits the post at the time. So I hope it helps.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's so great. And just a question here: if a Facebook or Instagram post fails to publish, is there any way to find out why?
Yes, there are. It depends. Like if it's an ad or something like that, there will be some diagnostics to consider, like the link preview might not be working properly, or sometimes it does tell you, but sometimes it's a little bit of a game of trial and error. So I tend to find that mostly the reason why mine don't post is because it either is because I'm actually sitting on Facebook Business Suite already, and what will happen is it'll just come up, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not really articulating well today, but it'll say failed to post, and then I refresh it and it has posted. So it can be a little bit misleading sometimes, but also it's normally to do with ads or link previews. So just definitely trial and error, test it out. And if it's not working on Facebook Business Suite as well, it might be a case of copying the post and then just adding it manually onto your Facebook. But there's no real, I'll take you into it. So if you go here, normally it'll have like a little highlighted part under here saying failed to post or something like that. And then you can just click on it and see what's going on. But it won't give you like exact details normally. So I hope that helps. I feel like I was quite poor at answering that question. Okay, so feed and grid. We've pretty much covered that one now. So it's just a visual tool just to see what your post looks like. Again, just to help with your branding, making sure everything's, on par, makes sense to your viewer because that's how they'll be seeing it. And then the next section is Facebook photos. Now, this one is actually an underutilized tool. Like, I think it's definitely a really cool feature, but not many people use it. So, and as you can see, Dimple doesn't really use it either. So you can't do this with Instagram, but with Facebook, you can basically save them into albums. And albums are really helpful if you've got like specific services or like, posts that are related to each other that you want in a section. So when a customer comes onto your Facebook page, they can immediately see and put it, like categorize it into, they can see the correlation between them. They can just view the post that they want to see, and it helps you make sure that everything's clear. So it's quite as simple as I can see all my albums here. The timeline posts are just the photos that are already pre-existing onto your feed. That's just how they are, and they're in chronological order. But if you go on to create an album, you can name the album, you can upload the photos, you can drag and drop them, and you can use pre-existing photos, and then you can just post it. So it's nice and organized, and just super easy for customers just to pop on and see. I mean, it could be as simple as, events that you're hosting, if you're a cafe or a business that does that sort of thing, or it could be your products or services, just categorized into albums. So the commerce one actually, so we won't go into detail with this one today because it's a whole new can of worms, but when you click this button, it pretty much takes you to Facebook Commerce Manager. So you can't manage your shop directly from Facebook Business Suite yet, but I'm sure there will be like a general overview eventually that you can navigate on Facebook Business Suite. So the next tool, which is one of my secret favorites as well, is the calendar. Now, I talked about this briefly last week on the homepage. They have it as well, just a little brief overview. But essentially, this just helps me visualize all my posts, and it just helps me see what posts are coming up, what time they're going to be posted, and if they have been posted, how many engagement, likes and stuff they have. So today, the highlighted one is Friday the 24th, and it's saying that we haven't got anything scheduled on today, but we did post on Monday and Tuesday this week. So you can choose to see it in a weekly view, or you can see it in a monthly overview. And as you can see, that's a lot more, it doesn't show you the specific photos, but when you hover over it and you can click on it and you can see what post it was, the engagement and that sort of thing. But this tool is really helpful with your content calendar. Now, it is called a content calendar, but not many businesses actually know about this, or it's a hidden tool, really. It's a real gem for managing your social media. And essentially a calendar, I like to plan my posts a month in advance. And what that allows me to do is, A, I'm not slaving over the computer doing it every single day and making sure the posts are, rushed hurriedly and that sort of thing. And B, it just helps me see, what days that we're posting, what days get the most engagement, and just seeing the consistency as well. So it is really helpful, and particularly making sure that you are consistently posting. So I definitely recommend using this tool. It's just simple to check and overview it, just to make sure that you're keeping on top of your social media. Cool. And then obviously you can see as well content types. So if I just want to check all my stories, or I just want to check all my posts, I can see that in the content calendar. And then if it's shared to all, or I just want to see my Instagram, or I just want to see my Facebook posts, I can do that as well. And then on the right hand side, it takes you to drafted posts as well. So they don't show up in your content calendar, but they show up in this little side part there, just to say, hey, these posts are waiting to be posted. So from there, I can actually click the drafted post and schedule it in based on my content calendar. And it just helps me see, the gaps in my posting to, say, hey, I could fit a post here on Friday the 24th. And it's as simple as clicking and go and create a post or create a story, or clicking on the draft post and adding it in there. So that's the content calendar. And I really hope you guys use this tool, because it will really help with just your overall social media and making sure that everything is consistent. So the next part is ads. Now, this one it's not your Facebook ads manager. It's just a very brief overview. It basically tells you what posts you've done and what's completed, what ones are currently running, and it's all in one place. And it's just an overall insight. So it doesn't work like the posts and stories, how it has the, the archived and the drafts and the scheduled and that sort of thing. It's just one whole timeline that shows you, the amount that you've spent, your objectives. So, we wanted more post engagements for these ones. We wanted more link clicks with these ones. And you can see when they've been posted, and if they're complete or currently running, it'll say active in a green button here. Or it might say failed to post as well in here. That's how you'll be able to tell. And then you can just see, you can view the results. So this gives you more specific information. You can see this is telling you about the people. So we can see what percentage of men versus women liked or saw our post. And this is really cool because it actually tells you a bit about your target audience. And especially if you haven't defined it yet, this is definitely the place that will help you. And obviously Ads Manager is more specific to that as well. But essentially, it will surprise you, with who is engaging with your content, and it just helps you realize your potential as well of what customers you are reaching. So so this is a cool little tool that just gives you a brief overview, and then it can tell you the placements. So whether or not it was on, the mobile app. So when you're scrolling through Facebook, does it pop up there as like a post? Is it an instant article? Is it a suggestive video feed, or is it an Instagram feed? And then desktop, Instagram Explorer, all that sort of thing. So the placement is really cool because it just shows you as well what or how your customers are viewing your ads. So then in the future how to target your ads and where to go from there as well. And then location. So obviously Dimple Digital is we focus on Bay of Plenty region businesses. And so that's obviously where most of our engagement has come from. But it's also nice to know that actually people in the Waikato also look at our stuff and interact with it, and, the Auckland region, and then it kind of just, tithers down like that. So this can actually be a surprising result for you as well if you're, struggling to identify your target audience, or, or it actually might surprise you who is interacting. So that's the audience section. And then this is like a preview of what it looks like, and the details. So how much we spent, what our goal was, and the duration that it was done over. So sweet. That's pretty much it. That's all this section offers at the moment. Obviously, Ads Manager is a different breed, and it has a completely different set of skills, and it'll tell you a lot more in depth as well, and provide you more analytics that are more specific. But this part is just quite a simple tool for managing it, and just having a good overlook of it as well. And then obviously you are actually able to create ads from here as well, which is quite a fun tool as well. Hopefully it loads. So you just click the right hand corner here. I'm sorry if nobody saw that before. And you can choose if it's if you want to boost an existing post, if you want to do an automated ad, or choose a goal. I always recommend choosing a goal and then going through here, because then you can actually make it more specific and make sure that you're achieving it. The automated ad is basically Facebook's way of deciding for you and kind of navigating it that way. But this one, you make sure that you get the interactions that you want. So if you want more visitors to your website, click this one and it'll provide a link to your website. If you want to promote your page and you want more people to follow you, then this is the button that you push. Or, boosted posts, getting more bookings if you've got a service or something, then this is a great tool as well. So there's all heaps of different objectives, and pretty much I won't go the whole way through this ad process, but you pretty much just click on the button, and then Facebook takes you right through the whole journey and sets out a budget for you, or you can choose the budget, you can choose your target audience. So it pretty much, this part runs quite similarly to the Ads Manager. So so this is just a fast, quick, easy access way to doing it. So the next part is insights. So there's been quite a bit of questioning around the insights part as well. So I guess insights is like, it just provides you, a lot about your engagement and where they're coming from and that sort of thing. So this is more in depth than what was on the homepage. So this is like an overall engagement. So it looks great on the home screen. It's a very glorified version of, you know, the nitty gritty, because that's overall how much engagement we're getting with our Facebook page, but it's not specific to each post or where exactly they're looking at. And then same with the Instagram. And you can look here, you can like track along like this as well and just see, you know, how many people at what time or like what date and that sort of thing were was your page reaching people. And then obviously here as well, there's an overview of your content. So you can see how many people saw, you know, specific posts as well. And you can see a content report as well. So it gives you more of a oversight as well. So it's more specific. And then, sorry, I'll move myself there for a second. So you can also see how many interactions were here. So yeah, this is a really cool little spot as well, just to see what posts are working and what's not for you. I always find the posts that work the most for Dimple is the ones that have a personal touch to them, like a picture of one of the Dimple teams or one of the clients that we're working with or something. Those are the posts that always get the most engagement in comparison to our, you know, Joe blogs, everyday type stuff. So that's the content. And then the audience. So this is like a breakdown of your audience. And like I said, some of these stats can be actually pretty surprising. And it gives you the opportunity to export it as well if you want to, you know, print it off and look at it, or, you know, present it to your boss or something. Depends how your business functions, but that can be a handy tool as well, just to make sure that you keep that data, you know, like a monthly overview or that sort of thing. So yeah, so you can see how many, well, you can see, sorry, what percentage of men versus women. So we've got the age categories. And as you can see, these are our top target audiences. And down here, surprisingly, women are the target audience as well of our business, which is quite interesting. But it's different as well across Facebook and Instagram. So on Facebook, it's a lot closer than Instagram. Instagram, we've got a lot more women interacting with our page. So this is just, it's just a good to know, you know. So when we do our posts, you know, we need to consider what our voices, you know, what kind of emotive language we're using, or emojis, or just simple things like that to make sure that your message gets across to the right target audience. Because obviously, you know, there's no point in us, I don't know, using, you know, specific brand language to an audience that's not there. You want to use language that your target audience will, you know, engage with and care about. So this is just a good insight to know about that sort of stuff. And then when you scroll down, it actually tells you specifically. So obviously it said in the overview, it said that most of our target audience is from the Bay of Plenty region, which is great, but we want to know where specifically in the Bay of Plenty region. So here it's saying the top towns and cities that are engaging. So obviously Rotorua is our number one. And then we've got Auckland. And these, again, it's specific to Facebook and then specific to Instagram. So that's just an FYI. Question.
Yes. Okay. So this is actually an interesting question. It's can we import email addresses of our customers to target them on Facebook?
Oh, good question. No, you can't. There is no, that data is never shared with businesses specifically. Obviously, if they interact, for example, with your website and they subscribe to a newsletter or your blog or something like that, then they will provide you with the information of your of their email address. So then you can target them through MailChimp and send them out emails like that. But there is no specific way of getting their email address or personal information off Facebook to target them. So what Facebook...
Or put it in, right? Like you can't enter it in anywhere. There's kind of nowhere to do that. Yeah.
No, definitely not. And I mean, that's also a breach of privacy, which Facebook has gone trouble with before. But, you know, you can't... Yeah, it's definitely a fine line. But the thing that Facebook does is it actually works out, it's based on an algorithm. So based on, you know, for example, the people in Rotorua, and women in Rotorua specifically, they're a specific region. They might have specific interest, in digital marketing, for example, because that's what our company is. And Facebook basically goes around and works out how many people fit that category, and then they'll send the ad out like that. And it's basically like a shotgun effect, and it'll reach that audience based on like mimicking your current target audience. So yeah, there's no specific way of targeting, but Facebook does know who your target audience is, and it will reach them with its algorithm.
Yeah, and there's a follow-up question here, but I think it's also important to remember that Facebook is not like the internet. Facebook is a website. So if you were to share your customer's email address with Facebook, like it's like sharing it with another organization, another business, you know what I mean? And really, like, they've only given the email address to you. So now you've taken their email address and you've given it to Facebook. So even if you could do it, there would be all kinds of privacy laws around you sharing that protected information with another organization. And so yeah, that would cross over so many boundaries, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so definitely.
So the follow-up question is, we have the email IDs for our customers, but we don't have them on our Facebook. We're wanting to reach them on Facebook. So maybe a strategy around understanding where customers are, you would have to do it around where they are located, whether or not you thought they were like, what they identify gender wise, and all age bracket and stuff like that. You'd have to do it that way. You couldn't like target them individually. I would like to offer a little piece of advice. I don't know if you'd agree with it, Greer, but if you really wanted your customer base to be engaging with you on your Facebook, you could put in links to your Facebook account in your emails that you're sending out, and encourage people to register there. Say that you put up special offers on Facebook that you don't include in the emails, and so the only way for them to access that is to follow you on Facebook, and that might be a way to get some of your folks onto that platform. Do you have any other suggestions in that area?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that, and making sure that your website has links to your social media, and there's lots of opportunities for your customers to click over. And definitely there's no shame in plugging in your Facebook and saying give us a follow, because you'll be surprised what a call to action will do. It gives your customers a place to go. So definitely recommend doing that. And in terms of like you're having just another point that I was thinking about is there's if you've got a specific one person email, you're only targeting that one person. So that actually kind of puts you to a disadvantage. Like, you don't want to just be targeting them, because you don't know if they're actually going to purchase. So, you want to reach as many people as possible, right? And you want as many people as possible to buy or book or do, work with your business. So that's definitely the beauty of the Facebook target audience, is that it knows that you're, people, aged between 25 and 35 are interested in these sorts of things. And then they'll go, oh, okay, there's 1,500 people in this category. So I'll send them this email I'll send them this ad. And it reaches so many more people than just what your email database sends or reaches. So I definitely recommend just keeping that in mind as well. And never limit your target audience.
And then just a follow-up question here, which maybe, because I actually don't know the answer, is Dimple offering any special offer to Digital Boost for checking the Facebook Business Suite? You can keep that, take that, Warren. Yeah, so maybe Greer is going to have a chat, because I don't think we have anything in the pipeline, and you would need to talk to David about that and do all of that, but let's just put it out there. We're throwing some seeds out there.
Yeah, so I actually had to talk to David about this on Monday morning, actually, because he had a couple of follow-ups. So some of you are obviously really keen on learning more and how to apply it specifically to your business, and just, a quick, tutorial at that sort of thing. And then David said, well, look, you're the expert. So if you do, if you are interested in learning more or learning how it applies to you, I'm definitely happy to, work with you, or, find a time that we can talk more about it or find, yeah. So definitely, what would I recommend?
It's in the works. It's in the works. So how about, because I think like you need to figure out how you do that with such a big audience and, and what that entails. And I don't want you to feel pressured right now to give some response, and we'll get on with what we're doing because it's such a huge subject.
Yes,
but I would say, I believe that was you, Warren, contact Dimple Digital directly. And then I will also connect with Greer about that, and we will chat about that. And I will let you know when things have kind of come into fruition.
Yes.
So yeah.
It might look like a form of a presentation or a one-on-one Zoom. I'm not sure yet, but we'll definitely have a look into it.
Perfect.
Awesome. Cool. So rightio. So that's pretty much our insights. Obviously, it's got some really cool information in here, and it really breaks down the nitty gritty as well of some, towns in New Zealand that we're reaching. So that's good to know. And it also breaks down countries. So if you're an international company, it will show here breakdown. But obviously, most of our target audience is New Zealand. So I'm not surprised that it's the top country here. So that's insights, and I'll move on now to settings. Now, this is it's probably a boring part, but I definitely find it's quite interesting just knowing the back stuff and just how to manage things a little bit. So as you can see, so if you click on the tab settings down here, it'll come up immediately with page roles. So at the moment, these are all the people that have admin access or advertiser or editor access to page to our Facebook business suite. So that means they can log on here and they can schedule posts, or they can sort out ads, or that sort of thing. So some of the roles are more limited than others. So an admin means that they have complete control. They can run ads, they can schedule content and all of that sort of thing. An editor means that they can only edit your posts. And an advertiser means they just focus on the advertising. So I just wanted to show you this as well, because I definitely recommend having more than one person on here just for, cross-referencing and double checking that your information is right before you post something, or, getting a second opinion. So adding a page role here. So you just click that right corner, add page, you type in a name or their email address here, and then you make sure to choose as well their role. So analyst, advertiser, moderator, editor, or admin. And then you can see as well down here the specific things. So and it's literally as simple as going add. So then once that's done, they'll get sent an email, and they can go in and check into it and log into it. So make sure that you give them the passwords and that sort of thing. But if they don't already have access to the Facebook and Instagram pages as well. But yeah, so it's just I just wanted to do that little admin part as well, because I think it can be quite helpful. And then the next tab down is Instagram connections. So this is just making sure that your Instagram is connected to your Facebook and business suite. So if it's not already and you've only got Facebook active, you just click into the Instagram connection and you can disconnect it or add it. And down here as well, there's an option to activate or deactivate the message settings, which, like I said last week, there's the inbox tab on the on the left-hand side here. So to read the inbox messages from your Instagram, which again, I do really recommend having your inbox all in one place, so then you can just check all your emails at once and or all your DMs, so it's all in one place. Cool, so that's the Instagram connection. Then page settings. Page settings actually takes you to a different section, so I won't take you into that today, as you can see, but pretty much page settings goes more into the detail about your Facebook page and the background stuff. And then, so all of these are external links. So business settings, ad account settings, and billing. So billing is if you want to run ads, it asks you to put in a bank account. So that's where you click on to do it. So yeah, I won't go into much detail about the settings, but that's just a FYI. Feel free to have a play around as well and just, read into it a bit more, because there's definitely some options to do there. And then obviously there's the help button. So if you need help, Facebook actually doesn't have a call center, but they do have they actually use Messenger. So if you want to live chat with somebody, there is the option to do so. But yeah, again, also if you have questions about Business Suite, you can also contact us. And then there's the give feedback. So that's pretty much Facebook Business Suite in a nutshell. And I'm happy to take more questions if we have any. But that's pretty much in a nutshell what Facebook Business Suite is. It's quite a sweet overview, and it has some real hidden gems there.
Yes. Now there's a question here that says, what are the optimal number of hashtags for a post? I've been told just 1 for Facebook and around 30 for Instagram. Good
question. I actually, no matter where you do your research or what marketer you'll talk to, you'll always find a different number. But I always find the sweet spot is around 5. And there's a recently they've come up with, or they've said that the more you do, the more spammy it looks, or Instagram has now started to shadow ban, which means that it won't come up on the For You or discovery page. So 5 hashtags I recommend, because then, it's not spammy and Instagram won't go, see you later, that's irrelevant. But it also makes sure that you reach those, tops hitting hashtags.
Yeah, and you probably also, it depends how directive you want to be with who you're trying to target, doesn't it? Because if you're just doing all the most general or what have you, you're really just kind of like putting it out there. But if you're really specific, have some quite specific hashtags, it can be quite cool. You might get some organic traffic from that for people who are looking specifically for your niche.
Actually, so there's a couple of things I was thinking about with hashtags just then. One is that, I lost my train of thought. That's embarrassing.
Oh, that's okay. Don't look, welcome to this world
of
live chats.
Sorry, 5 for each. And also no, what was it? Yes, that's right. So if you there's a couple of layout questions that I get as well. Like, I hate how it looks so spammy and, it's all just underneath and that sort of thing. So you can, obviously just enter and then or do like little full stops and just put them down. So people have to go see more to see it, which is, a nice little touch. And some people actually say that they like to put them in the comments, and there is the opportunity to do so, but the only trick with that is when you schedule, you can't schedule a comment, so you've got to go and do that manually. And B, it only works if you do it within a minute of posting, because Instagram doesn't associate it with the post. So just make sure that you keep them in. I recommend definitely keeping it in the post and the text that you've written.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that, because I do know people who do that. They, put it in the comments section because they don't like it in the main post. But that's a really good bit of knowledge there. We've got another question that I'm kind of having a look at now. So this person's trying to find the hashtag option in their business suite, but they're not seeing it as an option.
Yes.
And I'm just having a look at mine as well. And for Digital Boost to see. And I don't have it either.
Oh, okay. So
that's it's always a gag, isn't it?
Because
I'm just typing in some words and seeing if it pops up. I've got my smiley face option. I can pick emojis. Can I pick hashtags?
So I think what's happened there, and we had this last week, the same issue.
We were talking about this.
Because I used to be able to tag people and tag products, and then I couldn't for a while, and then it came back for me. So basically because it's such a new feature, I think Facebook is testing it out and seeing if people use it and like it. So it definitely, if it's not available for you now, it will be available soon, or you just got to keep refreshing and checking it out. But
yeah, it's not just you, because I was like, wow, this feature is so cool. I've never seen this before. I must have just not seen it when I've been posting, but yeah, I see that it's not on my thing as well. That's interesting. But we have talked about like that was an issue when at first you could publish a story. They were doing some tests with stories where you could push your stories out from one platform to the other, and then all of a sudden you couldn't do that, or you couldn't tag people. You could tag people, then you couldn't tag people. Like I just put a story out and I couldn't put captions on it. But usually you can put captions on it. Like what's the deal? But when I talk to, they just change things. They're constantly testing to see what people are actually using. And unfortunately that's super annoying, but also the reality.
I gotta make sure the product works, right? So we're the test bunnies.
That's right. They just tested on us. So in that instance, what I know that we've talked about it before, you can always just Google hashtags, just look up hashtags for pottery or hashtags for, tea or hashtags, and just grab, there's a whole bunch of websites that actually specifically focus on trending hashtags. Obviously that's the easier option, is the one if it is available to you on Facebook Business Suite, but there are other ways around it. And I know that I've been doing that, is just copying, pasting hashtags for my business. And then when you plug it into the Facebook Business Suite, and you paste them in there, it'll actually pop up like there might be two options, like one for Instagram and one for Facebook. So you can select both if you're posting to both places. What Greer had showed us the other day, which was really cool, was you can actually specifically change the content for your Facebook.
Each of the posts, right?
So that when you pick your hashtags, they will actually be recognized in each platform. Do you want to pop back in there just really quick and just show that really quick, since that question came up a couple of times?
Actually, another thing I was going to say for the hashtags, I also really recommend getting out a Google Doc and having, I'm not even kidding, like a list of 50 of them. And that's the other thing I was going to say about hashtags. Yes, so having like a huge list of trending hashtags that are related to your business, and then cycling through them. So having 5 per post, and just, making sure that you cycle them, because if you repeat them, and I'm not sure exactly how many times you have to repeat this for this to happen, but eventually Instagram and Facebook will say, they've used it too much, it must be a spam account, so they again shadow ban you. So make sure that you are rotating constantly, and using new hashtags, because then it can actually have the opposite effect of not being as effective as they were. So definitely keep a little document or something that you are using and rotating around. So
they're keeping us on our toes, aren't they? Making us
I know, it's such a it's like walking on ice, isn't it? So Facebook text, so you can write in here, you can say anything that you want in this text, specifically for your Facebook audience. And then if you've got another promotion or something that you want to post about, or specifically say for the same photo and same post, then you just click this Instagram button, and then
it's just because you haven't selected it yet.
There you go. Click on it, and then you just write in there. And then obviously here as well, you can click on.
I'm so jealous of that feature on your phone.
I feel naughty for showing it now.
I'm gagging right now. I'm like, I want it so bad. I went in just to see if we had it, and all I've got is the smiley face. I'm not smiling,
Well, actually, it's funny because my boss doesn't have access to Facebook Business Suite. He's got the Business Manager, which some people are also struggling
that's
with.
right. Some people were saying, I don't have Business Suite. I don't have Business Suite. And it's like, I don't know.
You got to feel blessed that you've actually got it if you do have it.
I wonder if there is there doesn't seem to be a way to update your, how up there in the top corner for your Google Chrome, like obviously it's telling you need to update your browser. But there doesn't seem to be a way to update, it updates itself on your phone, I guess.
I think you could even try doing it in incognito if you wish, but I'm pretty sure it associates with your account, your personal account, and your age bracket details and all that sort of thing. It'll work out like you know, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm
discriminated against
my
based on
certain
our
age or
looks.
something. Yeah. And they think, oh, she'll use it or something. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
and, or they might only release it in that target audience bracket.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Releasing it to target audiences first and then kind of seeing
yeah.
which. Well,
Like
you know
I used
what?
to, on Instagram, I used to be able to, you know, take photos or something and then upload it onto my story and then put a filter on it afterwards. But now that option is not available for me. So yeah, again, there's all these little features and they pop up and they don't. And so yeah, you've really got to just keep refreshing, keep trying.
I know that it's frustrating, folks, like when we want to learn something and it's like we come in here and then we go, oh, that's how you do it. And then you go to look and you're like, but I can't do it. You know, but there is, because these things are ever changing, we want to be as precise as we can, but at the same time, look, we don't own Facebook and we're just trying to show you guys to the best of our ability how to use it. So there's always this, we actually had Ryan Ashton on a while ago and he was talking about LinkedIn kind of stuff. And he was just saying, if you see a new button, if you see a new feature, click on it, just play around with it, because that's how you learn how to use these platforms, is constantly like, don't tunnel vision on the platform, because when they add a new feature, there's a reason, and have a play around with it and see if you can figure out how it works, or do a little Google search on it and see how it works. Because, you know, I feel like that's how folks like myself, like, you know, sometimes all the tech can be quite daunting. I think, you know, we get stuck in our ways and we go, oh, like, I'm just going to do what I need to do on here. But that's not the way that the world is kind of working anymore. It's all about this self-exploration and self-learning. I've noticed that a lot. Like, it's not about going to the classroom anymore. It's about micro credentials online. And, you know, it's all about these things that are, you have to engage yourself. So just changing that mindset and keeping that plasticity in the way that you learn is going to be really important for you to be on top of your game with your business online.
Absolutely. And actually, to be honest, Facebook Business Week completely self-taught here. Like I didn't take any classes or courses. I literally sat down and took the time to work everything out and how it works. And when something didn't work or a client couldn't work it out, or, you know, their feature wasn't available, that's when I dug into it more and I figured out, you know, the reason why. And so it definitely is something that you've just got to play around with, take the time out, because eventually as well, it'll benefit you and your business in the best way possible. You know, like, this has been so evolutionary for, you know, Dimple, because we're able to schedule ages in advance. And, you know, it's just something that you don't even have to think about. But it also means that you're, you know, the face of your business is consistent and you're constantly, you know, reminding customers that you're there, you know, because the worst thing you can do is, you know, post super inconsistently and then people just forget about you, or, you know, that you get less engagement because you're not as, you know, in their face, if you will. But so Facebook Business Suite definitely helps with that and helps with your social media platforms. So definitely give it a crack and don't be afraid of it, because you can't really do much wrong with it. Unless you go to the settings button. But
one more question. How do you see what time is best to post?
Yes, good question.
TIA. I'm not sure what TIA stands for.
I believe it was in here. No. Yeah, actually, it might even be. I'm thinking about it. It actually might be specifically on your Facebook and Instagram that it tells you that data. I thought it was in here somewhere, but there is a location. Then I'm pretty sure Instagram definitely does this, but it'll tell you. It'll say, you know, target audience most active in, you know, from 7 p.m. to 9:30 or something, or I don't know, something.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's usually in the evenings, because that's when people come home from work and that's when, you know, they're ready to engage with social media and they'll check it out. But ironically for us, you know, because we deal with businesses, that's, it's a different ball game. So again, they tend to log in like around midday just to see what, everyone's doing. So
and I would say if you're thinking, if you are
that.
targeting internationally, just remember that,
Mm.
their time zone's different from yours, so you want to make sure that you hit their time zone in a time that works for you. Yeah, I'm trying to think myself of where you see that information.
Yeah, I'm just
When you
having a
go
look
into,
now.
if you go into overview, is it in overview, or I can't click into your screen, but
Overview, and tells you the reach and the message that you wrote, followers,
audience report.
reports. That's basically over to this button.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't give you time specifics. Oh, this is really annoying. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, that's the way we do it, isn't it? Just jump on and have a look.
Yeah, since we've got a bit of time. Yeah, actually, I'll just check my Instagram one as well.
That's a great question, by the way. You've really got
Yeah, you've got us stumped. Okay, wait, hang on. Dimple. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that actually.
Yeah, if you want to ask, if you want the answer that I want the answer to that question too.
Me too.
But so and I can't think of what it is right now. I don't even know if I know the answer to that, but I would say contact us at support@digitalboost.co.nz and we will find out for you where you
Yes,
can find that information and we will deliver it.
this
So
will be eating away at me.
Yeah, I know. Now I like literally I'm not going to sleep today until I find this out. So contact support@digitalboost.co.nz. We will find that answer for you and make sure that you know that, because it is super important. And I know a lot of times I view my stats on my phone and I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I want to end on a high though, and I feel like this is not ending on a high. So, but I do want to thank you, Greer, for taking, like, literally, we were just here a week ago delving into this topic, and you turned around and backed it up with another killer session a week later, which we don't usually do to our providers and suppliers. And that is really kind of you to jump on with us today. And
yeah, I'm so glad that I could. And yeah, it was definitely something that I thought, like I didn't realize, I was saying this to Anna Marie before, I didn't realize how how many questions we'd get for this. So I'm definitely glad that we do have a part two and we had lots of content to cover, and I'm glad that I could help so many businesses and people out. So it definitely fulfills my job, and I feel, it definitely ends my Friday on a high. But
I think we've ended on a high. We're getting some thank you, Anna Marie and Greer. Awesome session. Living for, I'm looking, living in hope for the hashtag to show up in my suite. Have a great weekend. Indeed, me too. Yeah. Me too.
It's so really funny though, because it'll come up. It could be like a Sunday afternoon or something.
Part 3 on Commerce Manager would be amazing. Ooh, I don't even know anything about Commerce Manager. Yeah, we'll have a chat about that and see if we can't do something. I am looking for somebody to do some stuff on Facebook Pixels, because people had requested that. Whoop whoop, I have the hashtag feature. Oh, you're just bragging, Tracy.
Stop flexing on us.
Oh man, you are just, just rubbing my nose in it right now. Thanks, Greer, and thank the whole team over at Dimple, because I know you guys had to shuffle things around, I'm sure, to be able to make this happen, and we're really appreciative. And we would love to have you on again before the end of the year if you've got time. So I'll have a chat with you and see if we can work something out that works for everybody. And everyone else, well, all of us out there, aroha, much love to you, aroha nui, and have a wonderful weekend. Ka kite, everyone. get in touch with us if you need help. Okay, support at digitalboost.co.nz. We're here to help. They'll even do Zoom chats with you and stuff like that if you need them. And you can contact Greer if you would like to at Dimple Digital. And if you don't have the app, go get the app. Digital Boost Live. You can do all this on your phone. It's super cool. And yeah.